Good evening and welcome to the Friday quiz. It's 9 o'clock. It's Friday, so it must be quiz time. We've got 50 questions, as we usually do on a Friday, 40 questions and 10 picture questions. Now, if you like your chocolate and your sweets, you're going to love tonight's quiz. There's a very chocolatey theme involved, so the first 10 questions are chocolate related, and there's a lot of chocolate related, can't even say it, chocolate related questions in the picture round as well. So if you're good with your chocolate, and who isn't, you will enjoy tonight's quiz. Well, I hope you enjoy it anyway. Just another note, normally I do a midweek quiz. There's not going to be one this week, and that's because I'm going to be doing a Valentine's special on Sunday. I'm going to upload that one on Sunday about 8 o'clock. So there's going to be a Valentine's special quiz, but that means there won't be one again on Tuesday. The next one after that will be Friday again. So, hoping that you've now got your pen and your paper. You know the drill by now. Before the quiz starts, you need a working pen and you need a piece of paper. You need your family and friends together. You need your brains in order, obviously. And hit the pause button if you're not quite ready, because we're going to get straight into it. If you're not ready, hit the pause and we'll be here when you come back. If you are ready, let's get straight into the first question. So there we go then, first round, chocolate. So let's see how you go on these. So question 1 then, on chocolate. What did a Mars a day help you do? I think you can see how this is going to work. Think of the tagline. What does a Mars a day help you do? Question 2. What bar has a hazelnut in every bite? Question 3. Snickers were originally called what? Now, I'm guessing if you're in your late 20s or older than 30, you should know this. If you're younger than 25, you might be struggling. It's definitely an age thing. Question 4. What was advertised as full of Eastern promise? And question 5 on chocolate. What was the original name for Starbursts? May surprise some of you to know they're not always been called Starbursts, but they made the name as something else. Not really chocolates them, are they? So a bit of a dodgy question. Ah well. Question 6. If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, what should you do? Some of these questions seem such a good question when I wrote them. Now reading them back, they sound really silly. Ah well. It is a fun quiz. Question 6. Sorry, question 7. Who should you thank? It's Friday. Of course it is Friday. Question 8. Which bar can you take it easy with? Take it easy with something. Question number 9. Which chocolate told us to have a break? By the way, if some chocolate manufacturer has seized this quiz and decides to sponsor me and pay me in chocolate, we're happy with that. Just saying. And the last question on chocolate for now. What chocolate comes in 20 segments? So that's stumped you, hasn't it? So what chocolate comes in 20 segments? And for now at least, that is your last ones on chocolates. We got a new subject, which is sport. 10 questions coming up on sport. Question 1. Which snooker player once paid £10,000 for thieves to return his cue? Question 2. Which Northern English football club has a mascot called Monty Magpie? For football fans, that should be such an easy question. I realise that some of you might not like football, in which case you're going to have to guess. Question 3 on sport. So how many players are there in a cricket team? Question 4. So in which sport would you be expected to replace a divot? So in which sport would you basically be expected to replace the turf? I suppose it could apply to a few sports, but there's one sport in particular. You see him do it on the telly all the time. Question 5. In which year did Maradona score a goal with his hand? Such a sore subject. Such a sore subject in our house. And question 6. In which country were the first Olympic Games held? Question 7. How long is an Olympic swimming pool? It's in metres, if that helps. So how many metres long is an Olympic swimming pool? Question number 8. So which London football club has a cannon on the badge? So the club badge has a cannon on it as part of the emblem for the club. Which one? Question 9. So in which dangerous sport would you use pitons and crampons? And your last question on sport, number 10. Who won, or who has won, the most darts world championships? And it's time for another subject. So, Sheldon, what's the new subject, I hear you say? It is geography. You feel like you're back at school? You might do. Question 1 on geography then. Which continent is the only one not to have ants? Which continent is the only one not to have ants? Question 2. Traitor's Gate is the name of an entrance into which London landmark? Have a guess if you're not sure. On every question you should have at least have a guess. You should never leave one blank. You should always put something in, because you never know. Question 3. What do the Japanese people call their own country? Yeah, as long as you put something in the answer, you have a chance of getting it right. Of course, if you leave it blank, you're definitely getting nothing for that question. It's always worth a stab in the dark, you never know. Question 4. Is it true or is it false? The North Pole has no land. It's got you thinking, hasn't it? Question 5. With which letter do all the continents start and end except for Europe? At least it comes to continents, we're still in Europe. But other than that, yeah, we're glad to have water between us. We don't get on well with foreigners, do we? Question 6. Which river is flowing through Rome? So which river flows through Rome? Question 7. Which is the largest desert on Earth? I'll give you a clue. It's the one that's full of sand. Question 8. So, what is the second largest country in Europe after Russia? Obviously, Russia's the largest. We all know that, or at least I think you did. But what's the second largest? It may surprise you. Question 9. What state in the USA would you find the Everglades? And your last question on geography, question 30 overall. What is Europe's most mountainous country? Most mountainous country in Europe is... And it's time for a new subject, which is... Yeah, your favourite general knowledge. Who doesn't like a bit of general knowledge? Question 1. Don't get more random than that, does it? What's the name of Dennis the Menace's pet dog? I actually suggested this name when we got our dog, and I was laughed at and basically said no chance. So my dog's not called that. Question 2. What is the name given to a baby kangaroo? It's not Skippy. Question 3 on general knowledge. In which game do you score 1 for his knobs? Easy, it's a serious quiz. 1 for his knobs. I don't know what the game is, but I fancy playing it. Question 4. So what was the motto for the girl band the Spice Girls? They had a motto, didn't they, that they liked to chant and throw in our faces quite often. Can you remember what it was? Question 5. How many times does the letter O appear in the Hollywood sign? Question 6. How many tiles are used in a game of Scrabble? You may have played often. Did you ever bother to count them? Do you know how many there are? Well, you will do by the end of this quiz, because I'm going to tell you. I'm good like that. Fun and education all at the same time. Question 7. What is the best-selling video game of all time? Now, if you do these quizzes often, this came up in another question, and verbally, it wasn't nothing to do with the question, but I said the answer to this maybe a quiz or two ago. So if you're watching them in order, you should know it. Question 8. What plant is the symbol of Scotland? Question 9. So what colour is on the bottom stripe of the United States flag? If you know what colours there are on the flags, then it's basically just a guess to which one it is. So what colour's the bottom stripe on the flag of the USA, the Star Spangled Banner? And your last question on general knowledge. In the periodic table, what element has the symbol Cu? Jimmy. No, forget the Jimmy bit, I just made that bit up. Cu. We've already had a Scottish question. So that's question 10 over with, and we're now on to your next round, which is... Oh, it's that one. We love it, don't we? The picture round. It's a good one this week. We had a comment back from Dave Jones, if you're watching. He said he likes these, so I've done him another one. So let's see if we get on with this one. So, question 1. So what you've got to do is you've got to work out which is the correct logo. Which is right. I'll just move myself down here, out of the way. A little bit higher. Yeah, you've got to work out which one is correct against the 3 false ones that I've made up, basically. So which one do you think is the correct logo on that one? I've moved my head out of the way because basically it will be in the way at some point of these. It always is. Got a big fat head. So on your picture round question 2. Ooh, this is a tough one, isn't it? Which is the correct label for a tomato Heinz, no less, tomato ketchup? So which one of them do you think is the actual label, and which 3 do you think are the imposters I've made up? Only one is right. Just write down the number of the one you think's correct, and we shall move on. I think some of these will just leap straight off the screen to you, and you'll think, yeah, I know it straight away. Others, you'll be like, oh, these don't know. It's a bit difficult. Struggling. What are you doing to me, Sheldon? Question 3. Oh, Lidl. Do you shop at Lidl? Do you have a shopping bag of Lidl in the house? And has somebody just gone getting it from under the kitchen sink? Now you're wondering how I know your bags are under the kitchen sink, eh? I've been spying on you. I think everybody keeps the bags under the kitchen sink, don't they? Or they have a dedicated bag cupboard. Question 4. Oh, back to the chocolate bars. So which one of them is the correct way that it should be displayed? So if you advertised or on the chocolate or on the box, which one of them is it? Do you even bother looking at the label? You just rip it open and scoff the contents. Yes, you do. Question 5. Pizza Hut. 4 logos, but only one is the real one. Which is it? At this point, you're probably starting to doubt yourself. Question number 6. Pringles, our favourite crisps in a tube. So which one is the correct logo? It basically comes down to the colour. Which colour do you think is the colour of the real logo? Question number 7. So which of those is the correct logo for Snickers? And you thought this was going to be easy. Took me ages to draw these. I should work for the company, shouldn't I? Come up with new ideas. So, on question 8, chocolate again. Which one of those 4 is the correct Twix logo? And question number 9. Probably the easiest of them all. Which is the correct Whisper logo? 1, 2, 3 or 4? My head in the way again. Big fat head. Well, guess what? It's time to do the last question. We're there already. It's took us, what, 28 minutes? And we're on the last question. So we've gone through them pretty quick tonight. Your last one is What's-Its, which is the correct logo? 1, 2, 3 or 4? Could be subject for debate, that. Those 10 picture questions. Like I said, some will be obvious to you, some won't. Going back to the earlier questions and a bit of a recap then. In case you missed some, I did go a bit through them quicker tonight than usual. See, the thing is with a quiz, if you're sat there on your own and doing the quiz, it can seem a little bit slow for you. But I'm well aware that if you're doing this as a family and you have a bit of a chat on every question, you can miss some. Especially if there's 2 or 3 of you not sure of the answer and you've all got, well, you think you've got the right answer basically. If you've missed one in round 1 or round 2, there's a bit of a recap. Have another quick discussion this time and get an answer down on your paper. We want no blanks, like I said earlier. So that's round 1 and chocolate, round 2 on sport, and now your round 3 for geography and your round 4 general knowledge. If you missed any of them, make sure you get an answer down. I'll give you the 10-second count. And then we'll move on to the answers. Let's see how good you've been this week. So your answer to round 1, question 1, chocolate. A Mars a day helps you work, rest and play. If you didn't get that, where have you been? My word. Such an easy one. I think I'll just raise myself up. back into the top of the picture. So, question 2. What has a hazelnut in every bite? Its topic. Question 3. Snickers were originally called Marathons. They changed the name in 1990, in case you're wondering. I actually went abroad. I think they must have been called Snickers a little bit before, because I were in France, I'm sure, either 88 maybe. I was surprised when I went into a shop and I went to pay for something, and like they do, they had the chocolates at the counter, and I saw the Snickers, but of course the logo and the colour of the packaging were the same. I went, oh. So I bought one, thinking, a bit into it, oh, it's a marathon. And then when I got back home a few years later, they changed them. So Fry's Turkish Delight was the chocolate advertised full of Eastern promise. And the original name for Starburst is Opal Fruits. And again, they changed the name back in 1998. Because apparently they were called Starbursts in the USA always. For some reason, we were Opal Fruits. So we just changed the name to Starbursts to match our American friends. If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club, was the Jacobs advert. But now they're only Jacobs if you live in Ireland. For the rest of us in the UK, they're now McVitie's Club. Doesn't have the same ring, does it? And thank Crunchy, it's Friday. Or, if you're from Canada, it's Sponge Toffee. Crunchy sounds better. Take it easy with a Cadbury's Caramel. Remember the rabbit against the tree? Yes. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat was the advert. I'm expecting you all to do very well in this first round, being chocolate. And your last one on chocolate. A Terry's Chocolate Orange is 20 segments. Now, this came up in a pub quiz, a real pub quiz, that me and the wife did, about 10 years ago or something. And we were the only ones in the pub that got this right. And the reason was because my wife often buys these and she broke them apart, and we used to always have 10 each. So we knew the answer. Round 2, sport. And the person, or the snooker player, that paid £10,000 for thieves to return his cue was Stephen Hendry. He was desperate to get it back because he'd won 7 world titles with that cue. Sadly, it was returned to him, and then, well out of the country, some baggage handlers for the airlines snapped his cue, which is good of him. And sadly for him, he never played the same again after. True. Newcastle United has a mascot called Monty Magpie. Football fans amongst us will know that they're known as the Magpies, because they play in black and white, of course. 11 players on a cricket team. And you would replace the divot in golf. So you take your shot, you go under the ball, you take the grass up with the shot, and you put it back down because you're a good person. Question 5. Now here's a... Maradona scored a goal with his hand in 1986. Of course, he just happened to do it against England. Well, he would, wouldn't he? Now, he sadly died. I say sadly died in 2020. I think there was quite a few England fans glad to see the back of him. Now, he lived to 2020, but if my dad had got his hands on him back in 1986, he wouldn't have been here now. He wouldn't have been here in 2020 even. In which country were the first Olympics Games? They were in Greece, of course. And an Olympic swimming pool is 50 metres long. I think most of the ones in swimming baths up and down here are about 25 metres. But the Olympics, a bit bigger. The London club with a cannon on the badge is Arsenal. And that goes back to the days when they first started out, and there was the Royal Arsenal Armament Factory workers in Woolwich. So it's still on the badge. They're known as the Gunners, of course. Dangerous sport is mountain climbing. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty dangerous. You won't get me, won't get me doing it. Question 10. Darts World Championships. Bill Taylor won the most. He's won 16. That's quite a lot. And geography, your 10 answers. The only continent to not have ants is Antarctica. And yes, it's not lost on me the fact that it starts with the word ant, Antarctica. I know. Sure there's a pun in there somewhere, but... Tower of London has an entrance called Traitor's Gate. Like I say, if you had a guess at that, you may have got that one right. And the Japanese people call their own country Nippon. The North Pole indeed has no land. It's true. Just a big piece of floating ice. So, if you didn't get this one, shame. Which letter do all the consonants start and end with except for Europe? It's A. Africa, Australia, Asia. Which river is flowing through Rome? It is the River Tiber. The largest desert on Earth is the Sahara. And the second largest country in Europe is France. Did you know that? And the state you would find the Everglades is Florida. And if you were a fan of Miami Vice, or you were a fan of CSI Miami, you would know that. And Europe's most mountainous country is Switzerland. That's on the Toblerone, if we're sticking to chocolate. General knowledge. Let's have 10 answers on that then, eh? Dennis the Menace's dog is called Gnasher. Silent G, it's just Gnasher. Gnasher. And a baby kangaroo is a Joey, of course. And in a game, you get one for his knob. Or knobs. In cribbage. And the motto of the Spice Girls was Girl Power. How many times does letter O appear in the Hollywood sign? Now, if you got this wrong when the word Hollywood is actually there on the screen, wow. And there are 100 tiles in Scrabble. Somebody's bound to have counted them. And the best-selling video game of all time is one with the worst graphics. It has to be said, it looks like something from the 70s. It's Minecraft. And the plant that's the symbol of Scotland is the thistle. Now, I didn't say it's full of pricks. I didn't. What colour is at the bottom of the USA flag? It is red. Kenny, if you're watching this, I do apologise. No, nothing against Scotland, honest. In the periodic table, the element Cu Jimmy is copper. The picture round. Now, this is the one you've all been waiting for. Did you get the right ones? So, there you go. The correct Aldi sign there is number 3. If you shop at Aldi, you should get that all day long. In fact, at the moment, I am going to move myself out of the way. There we go. So, question 2. Surprise, surprise. Now, you may have been thrown there by having red on the label, because obviously ketchup's red. In fact, there's no, apart from the actual tomato, obviously, there's no red on the actual label. That is number 2. If you got that, well done. And again, number 2 is the correct little sign. The top two there, 1 and 2, the only difference being the letter I is blue or red, and the correct one is red. And picture 4, you should have got that one, is correct. Again, picture 4. Tried to fool you there. I thought if you thought you got the Mars one correct and it's number 4, it can't possibly be number 4 again on this one. Well, it was. And guess what? It was number 4 again on this one as well. Well, if you're going to do number 4s, you might as well just keep doing them. So Pringles number 4 is yellow. And the correct Snickers logo is number 3. Question number 8. The correct one is number 4. Of course, it's in red. You know that one. And also in red is Whisper. I think red must get our attention when it comes to chocolate. There's a lot of red, isn't there? And your last one, number 3, is the correct one for Wotsits. Did I fool you? Did I fool you with number 1? I thought number 1 might get a few people. Don't know. So there you go. So that's your 50 questions over and done with, and your 50 answers. How did you do? Or how do you think you did as you got the midway before the answers came? Sometimes you get a good feeling, don't you, whether you're doing pretty well or not. Put your scores underneath in the comments. Let us know how you got on. If you've got any comments, of course, let me know what they are. If there's a particular subject you would like me to do a quiz on in the midweek quiz, where we do 20 questions on a special subject. If there's a special subject you'd like to see 20 questions on, just pass me a message and we'll see what we can do. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all again. Remember to tune in for the Valentine's special, which we're doing on Sunday. Other than that, we'll probably be doing just the Fridays now for a little while, and we'll come back with the midweek ones, not in the not too distant future, maybe a few weeks down the line. But there still will be one every Friday, so look out for them. And keep on the Facebook and the Twitters. I'll be putting questions and fun facts on during the week in between. Just keep us in touch. But until then, enjoy. Keep safe.